Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Red Hall Call of Cthulhu Open World. I believe this is like episode 94 or 95, which is like pretty impressive. It's been going a long time, and maybe tonight is going to be a nice fun. It usually always is. There always is some sort of crazy plot twist. So, speaking of plot twists, Jake Smarty, my friend, it is April 9th. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. When you are working in your office at the Red Hall Police Department financial precinct, when one of your coworkers lightly raps on the door.
Yeah. I'm almost finished up here.
Jake, sorry to interrupt. I have a question. It's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Do you know if anything was supposed to happen with that human chair that was brought in?
No. I was waiting to hear from Holden, I believe. He seemed to be leading the investigation on it.
So, like, it wasn't supposed to be, like, sent somewhere else for further testing, like, out of the city?
It's possible. I think we had almost finished with it, so if they wanted further testing, I guess it could have left. But that is weird that they wouldn't have told us but also people don't usually tell us everything, right?
Maybe I'll go through the emails. Maybe something was sent that was just filtered wrong, but yeah, it's gone. So if you hear anything, let me know.
Sure will.
Cool. All right. You have a good one, Jake.
That's good.
The person turns and walks away.
I'll just send Holden a quick message, text, and be like, "Hey, did you move the chair?"
There's no response for a few hours, but as you're like getting ready to leave for the day, there is a response from Holden that just says, "No." Is it gone? Question mark.
I'll respond, yes. Apparently, it was sent outside of the city for further testing.
He sends back question mark. Then another text that says, "Isn't it your job to find that out?"
If it's missing?
Do you say that to him?
Yeah.
Well, he responds with like, "I don't work in forensics. I don't go in there and like sign out for things to get sent away. Did someone else do it?" Then he just sends another question mark.
I'll check through my emails and ask around, but people are asking me if I know where it went. So I was put against higher up someone else that could request it to leave.
He sends back a thumbs up emoji.
Okay.
Later.
Yeah, I'll look through.
Yeah, you find nothing in the emails about sending it out.
All right.
But later that night, Jake, you can call Richard if you would like.
I would like to try, yes.
He does not pick up his phone.
I will try Jesse.
Jesse, it's 8 o'clock. It's been about 5 hours since you last saw Richard. What have you been doing in this time?
Oh. Honestly, like, nothing. Probably just, like, drove to one of the parks they told me not to go to and just, like, walked in front of it but never went inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, around 8 o'clock, Jake calls you. You see on the phone, it just says, "Jake. Mr. Smarty."
Hello, Jake.
Hey, what's up? Where you guys at?
I don't know where everyone else is. I'm just wandering around the city right now.
Oh, I thought you were with Richard.
Why the fuck would I be with Richard?
Because he potentially only has a few hours left.
And you think he'd want to spend it with me? That's flattering, I suppose.
I mean, last I left, it was you two. So that it seems weird to me that now you're not.
Jake, I don't know. I'm not Richard's keeper. He's a grown ass man, can do whatever the hell he wants.
That's fair. So you have no idea where he is now?
Not a clue.
Where did you last see him? Was Sam with you?
Was Sam with me? I don't. Yeah, she was. Kinda.
Did you-
Yeah. Yeah.
did you leave-
Sam was there. Basically, he told me to go fuck myself. Walked away.
Right.
Try David. They hung out.
Try David?
David. You know, handsome
Oh.
David.
Yeah. No. I know who it is, but I
Handsome
forgot.
first, then neurosurgeon. That's the priority of his characteristics.
You're right. They were hanging out. Okay, I will. I'll try David.
Cool.
Let me know if you hear from him. He
From
doesn't have
Richard?
very. Yeah. are
Richard's
you-
not gonna call me.
Oh, okay. Are you so you're not meditating again then?
You know, Jake, no, I'm not, but
Okay.
yeah. All right, bye.
Bye.
You call David?
Yeah, I'll try David.
There is no answer.
Try Sam.
Sam, your phone rings. It's Mr. Jake Smarty. Probably the only man who would never lie to you.
Hi, Jake. What's up?
Hi. Are you with David or Richard?
No, not at the moment. Why?
Well, neither of them are answering their phones, and apparently last Jesse saw Richard, he told him to fuck off. So
Yeah, I mean, David's fine. He's just. Anyways, Richard, he was gonna go off on his own and try and solve a mystery, and the last of. He was gonna go off and solve a mystery. If he's not answering his phone, actually, that's probably not a good sign. At least
Yeah.
from you. He was really. I mean, he kicked me and Jesse out of the watch.
kicked you out of the watch?
Yeah, it's a long story.
I mean, yeah, I know he created the watch, but I don't know if he can do that right now.
Look, he's really not in a good place. I mean,
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's
he's been brought
Why?
back from the dead, and well, he's been brought back from the dead, and everything's just strange. Okay, so
It is. It usually is. This is stranger than usual. I agree. You have no idea what mystery or where he was going?
No, we were last at the Red Garden, and he headed off from there.
All right.
I'm sorry I can't be more helpful, and really, honestly, him not answering his phone is a little concerning. But maybe he's just pissed off. He didn't seem upset anymore at us. He just didn't want us to. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. We'll talk later. Maybe breakfast or something else.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you know what, Jake? That would be actually really great. I would really appreciate breakfast.
All right. Tomorrow then.
Okay. Okay. Tomorrow.
Okay.
Nance?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll see you there.
See you there.
Should we jump to the next morning then?
Jake's gonna go to the Red Garden.
Sure. Yeah, it's Monday night, so it closes. It's already closed at this point.
That's fair.
Because who goes to
She
a
didn't-
tourist attraction on a Monday evening?
She said that he just left from there, not that
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
was in there. And I'll text Holden and be like, hey, no word on the chair yet, but Richard seems to be missing. Have you heard anything at the police station?
He gets back to you a little bit after that. That just says no idea. Then he just says his time's running out though, right?
Not yet. I think he still has a few hours left.
No, Holden responds to that with being like, well, maybe this is a problem that will just simply solve itself.
Maybe you're right. And then just to myself would be like, would have still like to say goodbye.
Poor Jake. He's
And
just
Jake will
too
go back.
kind of a person.
Go back to the night watch station or the warehouse and see if he's there.
He is unfortunately not there.
And send him a text on the phone being like, hey, sorry I missed you. I hope you're okay.
Man, things would have been so different if Jake was here for the last session. Holy cow.
So different.
All right, let's go to Tuesday, April 10th, a bright, rainy day. Gray, overcast. That light that comes through the clouds, so it's just soft gray everywhere you look, otherwise known as the best form of lighting. And Sam and Jake Smarty are meeting at Nan's Diner. If anyone else would like to join them, Jake's usually there at this time if anyone wants to. It's a bright, sun-shining, rainy day, 8 in the morning. Your normal booth has been set aside for you. Eric?
Jesse, did you ever connect John with anybody else in the Night's Watch? Give him numbers, give him any sort of anything else?
Oh, not really. But we met. I told you I had to deal with something, and that's coming.
Yeah.
No will play for you.
Eric, you could just go.
You can show
not gonna
up. You
connect you
found
with
me
anybody.
there. You found me there.
That
You
was
could be
that was
there.
the same diner. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. That's, you know what? I will be there then at that same booth because that was the booth I met Jesse in. So I'm actually there pretty much
Sure.
before Jake
So,
is.
Jake, when you come in, there's someone sitting in your booth.
I was gonna say, does the waitress ask him to move or leave?
No,
That'd be
you
funny.
would need to ask
You know,
the waitress to ask him to move or
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah. No, I'll come. I'll be like, do I recognize? Have I met John? Has Jake
No,
met
you've
John?
not met John.
It's not unusual for maybe someone to be sitting in a booth that talking to, and I'll go up to the booth and be like, Night's Watch.
Ooh, smooth, mysterious.
Yeah, you must be.
I'll sit down.
Jesse,
Uh,
Mr. Rayner.
Sure. Yeah, Jesse's part of the crew.
he brought me in actually, just a day or two ago.
That's good.
I was given his contact information when I came to the city, and I guess I'm Night's Watch too. What's your name?
Jake Smarty.
Reach across the table to give you a firm handshake, look you in the eye.
What did Jesse tell you?
Jesse seems to have a lot on his mind. We actually didn't hit it off very well, and I feel kind of bad about that. I think I came on a bit too strong. He seemed to be processing some things, and when I reached out to help, maybe I was moving a bit too fast. So he actually kind of just dropped me off at the side of the road and kind of just drove away, to be honest.
Everyone seems to be moving too fast for Jesse. Jesse moves at his own pace. That sounds about right. That sounds right on par. So how did you have Jesse's contact information?
That kind of gets a little weird, to be honest.
Yeah, no problem.
I came here to town to investigate a mystery. I used to be a journalist, and I don't really remember a lot of the investigation after the fact, but I know something weird happened, and I know that when I started looking into things and asking around, someone approached me one day, and they gave me this, and I'm going to pull out a folded card that is Jesse Raynor's PI card, and I'm going to pass it across the table to you. They told me this is somebody I should make a connection with.
Oh. May I ask who gave you this?
Jesse wanted to know too, and honestly, I wish I could remember. I wish I could tell you. It was just some stranger, really. Someone I reached out to through a friend of a friend who pushed me onto him.
Let's see. All right. Yeah, because it seems weird that one they know he's here. I honestly don't know much about Jesse's past.
Yeah,
but,
he doesn't seem like a sharing kind of guy.
No. But he I was under the impression that no one knew that he came here from his old life. So
I'm not gonna lie. I definitely got a sense that whoever this was not from his old life. Very cloak and dagger sort of person. Made me a little uncomfortable.
Not in Red Hall, somewhere outside of Red Hall.
Oh no, this was in Red Hall. I've been here a couple of weeks now, and yeah.
Someone within Red Hall gave you Jesse's card.
Yeah.
You want coffee?
Well, yeah, sure. Do you need me to cover? Jesse was a little weird about money last time we were together, and I.
That's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right,
Catherine,
let's get Dutch then.
A pot for the table, please.
Okay.
The waitress has a name now.
They just bring you pots of coffee for the table? That's amazing.
I'm a regular here. It's actually
with the
my
pot
booth.
of coffee comes a breakfast platter for Jake. The waitress says, "Can I get you anything?"
Do you any sort of Grand Slam, like an All-American, like?
Like from Denny's. She motions to the platter and says, "I can get you another one of those."
This is like it. This is exactly like it.
That sounds amazing. Catherine, was it?
My name?
Yeah.
No, my name is Mary. She points to her.
Sorry, Mary. I'm kind of new, but nice to meet you. Thank you.
She walks away. Sam, you're good to arrive whenever you want.
Oh yes, I'm enjoying this. So. No. In the interlude of the waitress leaving, Sam will arrive.
Do you see that Jake
Oh.
is sitting across from someone you do not know?
Hello. My name is Sam. Nice to meet you. You must be a new member.
John's gonna stand and offer Sam a handshake.
Yeah, she takes it. She's got a very limp handshake.
John's is very like firm, looks you in the eye, 2 pumps, waits for you to disengage. If you don't, John does without making it awkward. Very practiced handshake.
Sam kind of like looks at the booth for a second, and as if she's trying to decide which side of the table to sit on, and in the end just grabs a chair from another table and kind of sits on the end. I didn't realize we would have company, Jake. Yeah, it's been a long time since you've brought somebody new around.
I didn't actually.
Oh? How did you find your way here?
Well, I had kind of looks around, like actually checks to see if the other 2 booths have people in them.
Oh, don't worry about here. There's no one listening.
Yeah, there's no one sitting next to you guys.
I guess like a couple of other people in the Night's Watch. I've had some strange experiences since I came to town, following up on a mystery. I'm kind of a freelance journalist, like I guess you could call it an e-journalist, but I am a real journalist. I have a degree. But anyways, I was chasing down some leads and lost a lot of one of my nights. I can't remember much about the investigation anymore. And when I started asking around if other people had had similar experiences, this is going to sound dumb, but a mysterious stranger gave me Jesse Raynor's card and told me I should reach out to him.
Not the strangest thing I've heard.
I mean, someone within Red Hall having Jesse's card is weird to me. But...
Not necessarily.
Yeah, he was giving it out to a fellow he told me was his brother or his cousin or something yesterday. Some sort of weird hippie Jesse who was kind of an asshole, to be honest.
Huh.
Yeah.
Like, he seemed like a nice guy at first, but the longer we talked to him, the more he was just, like, playing games with us, I think. I don't know, it was hard to get a read on the guy.
Yeah,
They were talking...
sounds like Jesse in a nutshell.
Yeah, they were talking about dreams or something, or... It was all kind of weird.
Yeah, there's been a lot of weird recently.
I'm kind of getting a vibe that I've interrupted. It's slow here in the diner. Do you want me to grab another booth and you 2 can chat for a bit and then just let me know when I can come back? Like, I get it. I'm a new face.
No,
No,
that's all. That's
It's okay. It's alright.
It will be weird though. So, I totally understand if you get freaked out about the Night's Watch and not ever want to come back. It happens.
Well, that's actually kind of comforting to hear, because it's nice to know people can leave if it gets too much for them.
Yeah. Jake, I wanted to talk to you about David, actually, and
Sure.
and him being part of the watch. I'm worried what it's done to him. What I've done to him.
Okay.
Have you tried calling Richard today?
Richard's time expired today.
He has
Last
a few
night.
more hours.
Does he have a few more hours?
Yeah. Around
It doesn't
11
matter.
a.m.
It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, 20. I have 21 written. Yeah, you're right. Yep. No, I actually haven't. I texted him last night, expecting if he did get to his phone, he would phone me.
You should try him later.
I will.
His time. He's not going anywhere.
I mean, from what Jesse said, and what you said, he did go somewhere.
Well, I mean, he physically left, but Richard's not going to disappear. His time limit doesn't exist. David did
What?
something.
David did something.
I'll like sort of side eye look at John and then look back and just be like, yeah, David and Catherine did something.
I can leave. Like, I saw that look. I can go. Like, I can grab my slam and eat somewhere else. You two talk. Let me know when to come back. Seriously.
It's fine.
Uh,
It's just been a long time since we had anybody new, and there's been a lot in the last. It feels like the longest day I've had in a really long time. Okay.
Hey, listen, a new face is always complicated, and it sounds like you are dealing with some personal stuff. I think it would be best if you two could just be honest with each other. So I am going to take my breakfast once it arrives. No, seriously, I'll go sit somewhere else, and then you bring me in when you're sure you know what you want to share with me. This sounds like a friend issue, and I really don't want to mess things up with any more of the Night's Watch. I've already kind of...
I mean, I think she's just being careful. She's just saying it because she doesn't want to freak you out instantly.
Just, yeah.
It's not about information we don't want you to know.
Yeah, everybody in the Night's Watch knows everything. It's fine.
Okay. That's surprisingly open, honestly. I guess I'll make sure I get what little files I have together and make you each a copy, just on the investigation I was doing.
Yeah, that would probably be very helpful to us assisting you.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm sorry, please continue then. Sorry for interrupting.
No, it's okay. I don't know exactly how to explain it right, because I don't know exactly what he did specifically.
Okay.
But he took the pieces of actual Richard from the chair and somehow
a hold of the chair?
Yeah. And somehow he transplanted those into the memory version of Richard so that he was alive and not exactly the real Richard, but not going anywhere. It's sort of like a living puppet version, I guess.
Okay.
A lot to do with the void and string. She like does this motion a couple times but doesn't explain what this means. There's something he's discovered how to do something that isn't
From Catherine.
I don't know how much of it she taught him and how much he just discovered from trying to find the truth. But it's just...
Well, if I have understood anything about this, power does not exist within us. It exists within the creatures and the powers around us. So if he's harnessing into something, it's not him. It's something else.
Yeah, I don't like it. I can't help but feel like it's my fault. Like if
I did try phoning him last night. There was no answer.
it would have been just after I left, after he told me. After I told him that he probably shouldn't stay with me anymore.
Okay. Well, I'll see if I can get a hold of him. See if I can.
He might not tell you about it. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm supposed to know. I was so tired of everyone lying to me, and I think he saw that. So he told me the truth. Or what he believes the truth to be. He thought he was saving people. It's how he was going to save Red Hall.
It might be. He might have believed too much that he could do better. I think we were all in that stage once.
Yeah. Maybe there was a time when we were doing good, but I'm not convinced we're getting anywhere anymore.
No, me neither.
There are so
But-
many things I would go back and undo or do differently.
In the back of your mind, an opal colored door begins to open.
That's true. But I also know there's no pushing people to do anything. Here, we can state, we can tell them we believe that what they're doing is not on the right path, but he believes it is really the right thing to do. And Catherine or something else has convinced him otherwise.
A plate of food lands on the table in front of you, John, and the waitress looks at you, Sam, and says, "Can I get you anything?"
Oh, thanks. I would love just like a fruit cup or something.
Sure, be back in a minute. She walks
Thanks.
away.
Healthiest thing I ordered at this table.
John's just gonna tuck in, because John's run out of coffee at this point to hide John's expressions of what? And is eating now, very much eating. Getting a meal in. This is the sort of thing you need to deal with on a full stomach.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, what even happened with Holden? There's been so much going on in the last. Well, I mean, he disappeared and then showed up in town again after Nigel thought he was taking over everything. And
No, well, he said that he had to leave Red Hall for some unforeseen circumstances, and he was trying to get back as much as he could. Finally did.
unforeseen.
Sounded like it.
Yeah,
That's
the
it.
message was that he left town for a bit, but that he's back now.
Yeah, but I
Stupid-
think he said didn't he say to me later that it was because of like
I don't think anyone's spoken to Holden apart from that brief conversation when Richard was there since he vanished.
okay.
And Sam briefly in the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he said he had to go out of town and came back. I mean No, because I did talk to him about it because he said that Nigel was just trying to make a power grab because he saw a moment.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So he said, yeah. I mean, it wasn't. He didn't come back because Nigel made the move. Nigel made the move because Holden had left, and he saw a power opportunity, but has not. Since Holden's been back, that has gone away.
Actually, no, you have not talked with him.
Yeah, with Richard. When I was there with Richard.
He might have, okay, then that passing thing. But that's what I said. No one talked to him in detail about that night.
No, but I did mention it, and that's what he said to me.
Yeah, he just hand waved it away and said it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, it does show how very carelessly balanced this whole city is.
There's just so much shit going down.
I think there's always a lot of shit going down. We've just involved ourselves in a lot of it.
Yeah. What I wouldn't give to go back to just ignorance.
And I'll kind of look at John during this. I'll be like, that's what you give up by joining.
I mean, I don't know how to tell either of you this. I see that you're both in a rough place. There's like syrup on my hand. John is mostly done his plate at this point. He's powered through 2 pancakes, 3 of the sausages, and 1 of the pieces of bacon.
The fruit cup has also been dropped at the table as well.
Huh?
The fruit cup has also been dropped at the table as well.
He's got like a chunk of pancake just ready and syrup now on his hand, and he's like, even in the real world, as a journalist, things were awful. People didn't have freedom, choice. Everything you did was messed up. Everything you did was, you were attached to something bigger than yourself and you couldn't control it. Like, if you want to leave, leave. It sounds like everybody in the Night's Watch wants to leave, and it's kind of making me a little bit nervous. But
I don't want to leave. I don't want to put that impression out there. Everyone else is welcome to.
We've been through a lot of weird shit, and it's stacking up, and it doesn't make any sense, and it's not fair. In the real world, you don't join an organization you think is going to help people only to watch a human that you barely know get shot in the face in your arms and then dragged through a door by an entity, only to have him come back to life for a number of hours, only to find out that in fact is extended by some sort of mythical surgery that your surgeon ex-boyfriend did because you dumped him in a beyond the veil scenario in an attempt to save him.
Shit, Sarah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's fucked up. I apologize. Nope, that's I got nothing. I got journalist stories, but I got nothing. I'm sorry. Yeah. Do you guys like have vacation hours or something you can do for the Night Watch? It sounds like you should go fishing or something. Take some time.
Sam took a vacation for a bit.
Yeah, that was nice. I remember that vacation. I thought that was the worst it was going to get.
Wait, the vacation was bad too?
No, that was just at the beginning of all of this. Shortly after that first mystery, I left for a while, and then I came back And we solved some. We solved
We
one.
did. We solved a couple, I think.
But
Jake's like, we solved some.
but the bad outweighs the good at this point, I think. I don't know. Look, I'm not telling you not to join. I wouldn't stop anybody from trying to make a difference. This is absolutely the organization where you should be able to make a change. I just don't know that I'm doing any good anymore.
That I have heard before from other people in journalism. I'm really sorry to hear you're going through that. That's really tough. Maybe it's time to. I don't know if you see this as a career. I'm sorry, I'm a little out of my depth here, but maybe it's time to refocus and move on. Maybe that would be best if you're not, if you can't see the value in the work anymore.
I don't think I get to just move on. But thanks. I appreciate the sentiment.
I'm sorry, didn't you all say that you could leave any time? I'm getting we haven't even gotten to the part where I'm trying to figure out that someone came back to life, Frankenstein style. So, I'm focused on what I know here. You can or can't leave.
Jake,
Can.
this is kind of a lot for me today. So I'm gonna go see if I can find Richard. But I'll give you a call later.
Yeah, give me a call later. If you get a hold of Richard before then, please let me know too.
Yeah, and Sam's gonna get up and go to leave and then turn around and be like, it was really nice to meet you. John, right? Really nice to meet you. I hope you really enjoy being in the Night's Watch. And then she's gonna turn and go.
God, shit. I just keep ruining it with people here. I don't know. Maybe it's
no, it's not you. I mean, it is, but it's not you. It's the freshness of you that I think are freaking people out. The freshness.
Oh God, I even think I called her Sarah, not Sam.
It's okay.
Close your fucking eyes.
I think people get attached to the Night Watch in a way where they feel like they can't leave. But not like in a moral sense.
I mean, listen, I don't know anything about what you people are talking about, okay? I don't know if you're talking in code or if this is real shit you believe in. I don't know if it's true. This whole...
True.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know what true is to you. No offense. It's just, you're talking about people coming back from the dead. What I can say, though, is, I do get it. People call my work a vocation, and sometimes you get stuck in it, and I get that. I really do. I'm sorry. Jake, it's just, I feel like we're 2 for 3 right now of people who just seem like they want to go home. Jesse was not friendly. Sam is kind of freaking me out.
I think you both saw 2 people that potentially are on their way out already. And that's unfortunate.
What exactly does the Night's Watch do? Jesse seemed convinced that it was useless to look into things, and Sam feels like she's done more harm than good. what exactly do we do? So far, I've had 2 breakfasts. I've driven out to a place and been told to wait in a lobby. Like, I don't feel like...
We find the mysterious things in Red Hall and try to put a face on them. Because some things don't have faces. No.
John leaves.
Because-
No.
Yeah. Because,
Comes back with a pack of googly eyes. I'm ready.
I think the person who created the Night Watch always just wanted to have a reason why stuff was happening, and to see if it could make it better. Unfortunately, most of the time, we're not able to make it better. But we can put a face to it and potentially get it under control-ish by maybe letting somebody else know about it, or stuff in Red Hall doesn't just go away. Unless you're mortal. No. No.
Most things don't. So
Yeah.
mostly you just gather intel and then share it to the right people.
That's how I have started to think about it. Now, I was definitely in the beginning about seeing if I could make a difference. I saw a lot of weird stuff where I worked, and thought I could, stop that from happening.
You a doctor?
Forensic investigator.
All right, we're gonna hop over to Jesse, who is woken up, I
Hey,
imagine,
baby. Oh,
by
yeah.
your phone ringing.
Oh. Who's calling?
It's Sam.
Sam's calling. What time in the morning is it?
It's probably like 8:37.
Okay, I'm not angry. I'll pick it up and be like, hello?
Jesse, I want you to tell me about the Opal Door.
I'm gonna, pull my phone back and look at who's calling. And be like, oh. Ah. Hold on a minute here. Sam, what fucking Opal Door?
Tell me about the chick you went to see, about the meditation. Mia,
yeah.
whatever her name was.
Yeah. No, sorry. I'm just waking up.
Sorry, I know it's early. I just want to know how it works. I want to know what happened. She wouldn't tell me anything when I went there, and I just...
It's just a guided meditation. She walks you through previous events and encourages you to change them in your imagination. And next thing you know, you're a necromancer. You know, a guy who raises the dead?
Oh, I know what a necromancer is.
Okay.
I've played D&D, Jesse.
Ian, what? I play football. Who?
Hoorah! I just can't help but think a lot recently that there would be a lot of people better off if I had... No, never mind. Thanks, Jesse. I appreciate you letting me know.
Hey, Sam, don't do it.
Why not?
Jesse's gonna like get out of bed, like sit on the side of it, get serious. He just. Oh god, this is gonna sound so fucking cliche. Like, life is lived in one direction, and what makes us who we are is the path we take. You can't go snipping and transplanting threads and just change it to whatever you want.
There are so many parts of this city that have taught me otherwise. Jesse, think of all the people that wouldn't have been hurt if I had never joined the Night's Watch to begin with.
Oh no, Andrew Kingston, boo-hoo. What a loss.
Not just your favorite stalker. David would not. David wouldn't be involved.
Oh, fuck David, you guys broke up.
David wouldn't be involved.
In what? The Night's Watch?
It doesn't matter.
Weird shit?
Aaliyah wouldn't likely have started a war.
If you... Sam, I see your point, and grief is difficult, and it takes time. Just if you don't have a support network, I could be that for you, I guess.
Jesse, what do you like? I don't.
You know
I
what?
don't mean any offense. Like, what are you gonna do? How are any of us gonna make this better? Has Richard been in touch with you?
Richard's dead.
No, he's not.
I will be soon. I'll look at the
No.
clock.
He won't be. Not as far as I'm aware.
Why, did you go meditate on him?
No. I wouldn't be asking about the Opal Door if I knew.
I don't know. Maybe you're trying to compare experiences. Hey, Sam, where are you? Just give me a half hour and I'll meet you wherever you are. Or not. Whatever. Whatever you want. Whatever you need, I guess. I'm not good at this part of things.
Look, I don't even know anymore. I don't know what to do, Jesse. Every time I try and do something, somebody else ends up hurt, or there's more chaos than when we started, and we end up having to dig ourselves out of an even deeper hole. Well, I don't know how to drive an excavator, so...
Alright, Sam, just... Where are you? I'll meet you in a half hour. We can talk things through. And if you want to do the Opal Door, I'll go with you.
Okay, fine. Let's, I guess... Let's just meet at the Bean Time Cafe below my place.
Bean time. Alright. See you in a half hour.
Alright, we're going to take a break here for YouTube. So don't go anywhere, YouTube, because you only have 1 second, and then we'll be back. Alright, YouTube, we are back. By the way, do I have my thing here? I don't have a subscribe thing here. But if you're liking this content, why don't you consider liking the video, leaving a comment, subscribing if you're not subscribed. It helps the channel out and allows us to make more stuff. It is down below. That is where the little button is.
Down.
But we're going to jump back to, Jake and John, who are at Nan's still.
Settling up our bills, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said you had an investigation of your own that you were doing?
Yeah. I mean, we'd have to reconstruct it from scratch. I don't know how to explain this better to you other than I went, I looked into it, I woke up, and I knew something was wrong, but most of my notes and most of my information were gone, as was my memory of that night. I know it was about kids. They go missing in and around the mountain area here in the city. And I think it has to do something, honestly, with the tunnels. The old tunnels.
Yeah.
Out on that area of town.
That sounds...
But, I mean, that's just my thing, and I've been sitting in it for a long time now. I don't think it's going anywhere, and honestly, all the leads have dried up. I haven't heard about any other missing kids through my contacts recently. And I honestly, like, if you've got something you want to be looking into too, we absolutely can. Because, I mean, my first stop was...
Mine was a chair. It's not going anywhere. Chair.
I mean, if it's that chair, it sounds like it already has gone somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you lose stuff in lockup all the time?
No, I don't believe so. I don't usually deal with what's in lockup after we're done, taking our samples and stuff from it.
What happens to your samples and records?
Oh, they stay. I have those all in my office. They're all locked away. There's copies everywhere. They don't go anywhere.
Oh, you keep copies of everything. Interesting.
Yeah, well, you can never be too careful, right? We
No,
have an offsite backup, offsite server. If something burns down, and I'll kind of like roll my eyes at when I say burns down.
That sounds like some personal experience there.
Yeah. I mean, my house burnt down at the beginning of all this, so.
No kidding. Was it an arson?
Probably.
You know who did it?
Probably.
Who did it?
Andrew Kingston. He's not on this plane of existence anymore.
You know what? My car's here. Why don't we take a ride and either head towards your work or...
I got the Night Watch van. If you want,
we have a van.
To ride.
Yeah, Jesse never mentioned that. Yeah, sure. Let's take the van.
That's good.
Let's go in the van.
Free candy van. All right.
So, where are you guys heading to?
We can. You said on the edge of the forest because there's like a cave.
There's a bunch of old mines that apparently kids sometimes go and play in, and then they go missing. And as far as John remembers, as a reporter, he was investigating that.
That is on past the east of Red Hall. Northeast.
Let's swing by the warehouse. See if we can find a map in the town records. If there's any maps of the old mine, or at least some recollection of what things. We'll grab. I got some high-powered flashlights and other supplies we might need. We'll pick those up and then we'll head out.
Okay. What? Hold on. You just want to go straight to the mines? Not even tell anybody? Not let nobody know where we're going? Like we're just gonna go tramp into a place where kids mysteriously vanish?
I'll text a few people.
All right, sure. I was maybe thinking if you're a forensic investigator, maybe you could get access to some of the files on these missing kids. Like, there's got to have been police searches. Like, we should build a case first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
we
maybe
can
hit up the library.
I mean,
do some
there's a
research.
full library at the warehouse that we can have access to. The police. There's a computer that accesses the police files.
You just set up a computer that has access to a police database. And you've
Yeah.
got records you keep on an off-site server in case anything happens to the files in your office. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm definitely in the right group. This is good to know. Can I put some of my files in the off-site server?
Yeah, sure. There's a
Okay,
scanner
cool.
at the warehouse too.
Oh, wow, and it's just hooked right up to it, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I make it easy.
All right.
You know, we have guys like Jesse that like to join too, so. Gotta
No,
make it
that's
easy for
great.
those guys.
I'm not super technology literate, so this is actually kind of super helpful. Yeah, I guess let's go to the warehouse. Let's get suited up and just go climbing into some abandoned mines that kids go missing in as two normal men with no experience with climbing or spelunking. Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, are you a climber?
No, but it's a mine, right? People walked into mines all the time.
Mines are extremely dangerous. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Why not?
let's do it.
What's it gonna cost us? Let's at least check it out. But first, let's do some research.
We don't have to like go into any dangerous scenarios that we deem dangerous. We can just go check it out.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe even find out more about the company, see if anything is there.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna quickly stop at the coffee shop where Sam and
Duh.
Jesse are meeting up. Sam, I assume you found a seat.
Yeah, she's sitting there with a cup of tea.
Cup of tea.
Yeah, it's nice on this April rainy day.
Yep.
Yes. Dropping things. Yeah, Jesse's just gonna walk up as socially awkward as ever as he is with people he has like somewhat of a friendship with, and just sit down and be like, do we just dive into this? Is there a preamble?
Jesse, what did you want to talk about?
I don't know. It just seemed like cheap talk over the phone. I thought in person it would carry
Jesse,
more weight, I guess.
There's not a lot that has gone right recently. And I mean, I know that in and itself, what you did didn't fix things. It didn't make it permanent, exactly. But I just want to know if Niev is an option. That's all I was calling to ask. Because I really, honestly, am feeling like I shouldn't be a part of the Night's Watch anymore. And I tried to leave and it didn't stick.
Yeah, but you got fired, so you're good now. He'll just kind of give you a cheeky.
Yeah, that's how that works. I just don't know what else to do.
Sam, the Night's Watch. I mean, it's ultimately a moot point. Like, you being in the Night's Watch or you just being yourself. you're still gonna be you and do you things.
Jesse,
it doesn't matter.
if I had never gotten kidnapped,
You're gonna blame yourself for being kidnapped.
if I had never started working for Holden then.
You know more about what goes on here now, and you still feel like you are to blame for it. That's ridiculous, Sam. You've done
Jesse, think about
simply-
all the things that I have been the catalyst for. Think about all the things that, yes, some of it was good in a way, but I'm sure.
Are you a history buff at all, Sam?
Not especially, no, why?
Just like, World War One. If it wasn't Franz Ferdinand, it was gonna be something else. If you weren't gonna, we're not poking our noses into anything that isn't already going on. We're not creating these new scenarios.
No, but I am involving people that otherwise wouldn't have been involved if it weren't for me.
I know it's on the phone, Sam.
Go ahead.
Grief is hard. And when you're deep in it, feels like it's never going to go away.
I'm not
And-
grieving right now, Jesse. Who am I grieving for? Richard isn't dead. David isn't dead. As far as I know, Aaliyah's just fine. She's a tumor farm, but she's okay. Andrew Kingston is probably living in another void, but he's theoretically fine. It's not grief.
Have you saved one person? You know you have.
Jesse, I just used to do so much less harm when I was nothing more than a nurse. This is more than just being there when people die. This is actually ruining people's lives. And I don't think I want to be a part of that anymore. And if I can undo all of the stuff I've already done, that's even better. And if I can't, well, Richard was just going to disappear, right? I'm no worse off for trying. And then maybe I will find a way to just walk into the sunset.
It's a nice thought. Do you want to... If you want to try Niab, I understand. I'll take you there. But just, I wish you'd give it more time. I wish.
What should I do then, Jesse? What should I do? Because right now, I don't know what to do to help.
With Holden?
With any of it. I can't get a hold of Richard.
Why do you think he's not gone? You and I both know he had 24 hours. I didn't meditate on him. And if you didn't, who did?
Nobody.
What's the fucking problem, Sam?
David did something with Catherine. She helped him make Richard permanent. He knew he didn't have a time limit through that whole conversation yesterday.
Yeah.
He and David, you were right when you asked him.
Yeah, you pick up on things. You and I both know that's not Richard. That's something else parading around in Richard's skin. If he's still here, the thing is,
No, he put the real Richard into the fake Richard that you made. It is a solidly believable puppet filled with the real deal.
that's great, but you think anything Catherine's a part of doesn't come at the... I know it comes with a price. Everything in this fucking city comes with a price, Sam.
Look, the fact that I can't get a hold of Richard just leads me to believe that something has happened. And I don't know what it is. I'm sure that we'll find out in the next few days. But all I can think about is the fact that if I went to the Opal Door and left the Night's Watch before I even started, so much of this wouldn't have happened. David would just be a surgeon in a hospital. I would just be a nurse. Sure, there would probably still be suicides happening at Garden View. But otherwise, what's different?
Sam,
Sam is going to stand up and start to walk towards the door.
Jesse will catch her and just like, he'll grab her arm and just stop her and be like, Sam, I know there's nothing I can say that's gonna make you change your mind or even dull this pain you're feeling, because I recognize it. So what do you want to do? I'm here with you.
I want to try. I want to go talk to Mia.
All right, we'll go talk to Nia.
All right, John and Jake, you guys are at... Russell, get off the controller. You guys are back at the HQ. What do you guys want to do? Bad boy.
Yeah, I mean exactly what we described. I want to see if I can find any maps or anything on these mines, or some sort of
being able
records
to tap into the historical archives, you do find some loose mines, like of the mineshaft structures. A lot of the official documents have like since burned or disappeared. The Barth Mining Company that owns the mineshaft now are kind of just like holding it as like a corpse. It's like a museum, right? It just exists to exist. They're not really mining out of that mine in particular anymore. And then also like it's not really children that go missing. It's like teens and pre-teens that often go missing there.
Oh. I'll show John. Be like, seems to be more than just young children.
Yeah, I mean, sorry. How old is Jake?
He's old.
You get it when I say kids, right? Like, I'm just talking
Yeah.
to young folks. Yeah, I didn't mean like toddlers or nothing. I meant like just kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Can you show me the police database and maybe get me set up? I want to see if any of those like teens or preteens have any sort of like connection or anything.
Yeah, it's on this computer, and I'll search some of the names.
Throughout the years, there's like loose connections, but like I said, they're all teenagers. But there's no like family, no like trend. They don't look similar, so there's no like appearance-wise motive that could be followed. If this was a serial killer, they come from different like classes, different races. However, most of them seem to come from the same high school, and they all seem to disappear around graduation.
I wonder if there's some sort of grad ceremony where they go into the mines.
So
It's like
yeah.
rich, like, yeah.
Ready to go back to high school, Jake?
Yeah, I wonder if we just phone. I don't know if we have to go.
Or show up. I asked to talk to them about it. I've still got my press pass, so we can tell them we're doing a report on it. Like, I've got a blog I keep up.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just want to make a phone call, that's good too. Where's the
let's see.
flashlights?
On one of the walls, there's just a pegboard of flashlights, night vision stuff, and like everything you could probably think of, including guns.
John's a little thrown by that, but grabs some flashlights. Is careful to kind of navigate his hands around the guns, but like has that like kind of old boy like. I would be cool if I held this.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Oh, and where's that scanner you were talking about? The one that's set up to the offsite server.
It's right over there. It should be default already set up. So if you scan, it'll automatically go to the database here and to an offsite that I have.
Wow. How did you keep that secure? Is it like encrypted or something? I've heard about that.
I'm less worried about people getting a hold of all of this. Most of it's not secret. It's just I don't want to lose access to it.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I'll start packing us up for a climbing trip when I have a whopping 20 in climb. So I'm going to grab us flashlights and walkie-talkies and one rope.
Nice.
I'm going to leave Jake to make that phone call since Jake is clearly the forensic expert.
Yeah, I'll make a phone call to the high school.
The secretary answers the phone and says, "Preston High School, how may I help you?"
Hi, I'm just weird question. Do your students have a ritual of going to going to the old mines at graduation?
I'm sorry, who's calling?
Oh, this is Jake. I'm just with the forensic team at the police precinct, and we just noticed a connection between some kids going missing and that mine. And we're just wondering if we heard some high schools might have like a ritual of like the students going there.
Truth be told, I haven't heard anything of the sort. But I'm not in charge of. I'm not on the graduation committee, and I don't see in any of our graduation celebrations ritual in the mines. So, sorry, I don't think
okay.
that's us.
That's okay. Thanks for your time anyway.
Yes, thank you.
It doesn't. She didn't. Let me just talk to the secretary, but she didn't seem to hear of any kids going to there. But that doesn't mean they don't. It's not within. And I think it'd be kind of weird to go and talk to students at the at the high school.
I mean, I agree. I think we should talk to graduates. People who would have known about whatever party they had planned at the mines. I'm sure we could find a couple if it's been happening for a few years. Do you have, like, old grad books for local high schools?
I don't think so, but some of that stuff's online, I guess.
You got some weird skills, Jake.
I mean, could we just search that high school with on Facebook to see anybody's public profile, and then just find one that's a little bit older?
That sounds great.
Let's try that.
Yeah, that method works very well. You have a whole list of people that you could ask.
I'm just gonna pick one, kind of at random. Make sure they are a little bit. They're not currently in high school.
They are not. No. Yeah, all the lists are ones that aren't in high school.
Okay.
Because like, what high schooler kid is using Facebook these days?
Yeah, it's fair. And I'll just send them a message, or see if there's even a phone number that's public. Some people don't even do that on their.
There's no
Facebook.
phone number on this one, even though you have to link it. Theirs is private, but you can send a message. What does your message say?
Ooh.
Do you want me to take this, Jake?
Yeah, you're probably a little bit more good with writing.
Listen here, you little fuck. I'm an investigative journalist, and I'm looking into this shit that you did 10 years ago.
Years ago.
I'd like to roll a fast talk on this, Justin.
Sure.
Oh.
That could be an
Wait, we can
advantage
roll-
because you don't need to think on the spot. You can type and
Wait,
delete.
we're rolling things? We can roll things in
Yeah,
this game?
this is a role-playing game.
Dang.
So I nailed it. So what I'm going to write is I'm going to write that I'm John Doherty. I run a news blog that is doing a bunch of reports on some of the strange things here in Red Hall. And I really wanted to talk to them about a big case that I'm hoping to crack. And that is about the kids who go missing in the mine. So we're trying to track down anybody who knows anything about, like, grad traditions, student traditions, any sort of historical reasons to go out to the mines and party, because the only connection we found is that everyone is connected to Preston High. And if they could get back to me, that's great. I can even offer a cash reward for any sort of valuable information that leads to further links.
Cash reward, that's a good one.
Nice. After about 2.5 hours, you get a message back that says, "Sure, I'd be willing to talk with you for your article. Where do you want to meet somewhere?"
And I rolled below my hardest difficulty, just so you're aware, so I did pass.
Yeah. You just needed a normal, so.
Yeah. I'm going to look at Jake and be like, where should we meet him? Maybe somewhere on the way to the mine so we can check it out after?
Yeah, probably. Maybe nearby to the high school.
Do you have like a police badge?
No, I'm not a police officer.
Okay, do you have like a card that shows that you're like a forensic investigator or anything?
I mean, I have my D.
Yeah, bring that with you. That's gonna look good. That's gonna make this look real official.
I mean, people aren't usually impressed with that.
We can talk it up.
Sure. I mean, for the most part, I find people just answer questions, especially if you're out for a cash reward.
Sometimes a badge or like an official position makes people sweat. That could be helpful.
It's fair.
I'm gonna clap too, with excitement, because I assume that's why Jake's clapping, and then I'm gonna be like, let's get into the mystery van.
get into the mystery van.
All right, we will do that interview with that high school student in a few, but first, Sam and Jesse pull up outside the Opal Door, and it is just as you remember it being. Plain, nondescript, empty, and cold from the outside.
Before we go in, I'm gonna text my good new friend John and be like, I'm not trying to put you off, just dealing with a few friendship things right now.
John, did you want to respond to that text?
I text him back and say, Jake and I are on a case. We're looking into the old mines, let you know how it goes, interviewing a high school student, then gonna do a climb.
Alright, I'll just text back, don't get shot or turn into a chair. I'll send a chair emoji with that, and then be like, text you later.
You get one of the emoji faces that's just the teeth.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, he's ready for it. He's beastly. Oh. Yeah, and after I'm done texting him, I'll just I'll park the car and I'll just look at Sam and be like, you know, right now it's all just going to be temporary.
Hey, you could have chosen to meditate on Richard every day. If I get to prevent even half the things that happened just for a little bit of meditation, maybe that's not the worst change in my life. Everyone needs a little yoga, right?
Yeah, I'll just pull the park brake and be like, all right.
I'll get out the car and go towards the door.
I'll just go in there with her.
Inside, there's the same pleasant music with the same trickling water feature, the same boring chairs, the same magazines that are actually, when still kind of flipped open to the last time, I think it was John, just flipped it open to a page. They have not been touched since. But Monica's there with smiles, and she says, "You two are back already."
Couldn't stay away. Is Niev available?
She turns. She says, yes, she has an appointment slot within the next 10 minutes, if you'd be interested.
That would be lovely.
After 10 minutes, Niev steps in, and when she sees you, she smiles a little bit differently than when she saw you yesterday because she was a bit preoccupied with someone else. Good stretch, Russell. And she smiles and says, "Sam, I'm happy you've come back."
Well, I thought I'd give it a try.
Well, why don't we go back and we'll give it a try?
And Sam follows her where she's gestured.
She takes you into a small, dark room. Jesse, what are you going to be doing in the waiting room while all this is happening?
Just waiting for Sam.
It's the perfect room
He
for it, then.
recognizes her deep, deep pain, and he just wants to be there for her.
She tells you to lie back on this bed in the middle of the room. There's a salt lamp in the corner providing a soft glow, as well as she's Niev is sat next to a desk where she pulls the head of a desk lamp and turns it on to shine on some papers. And she has a pen in her hand as she's just kind of like looking at you and just staring for a little bit.
Sam will just stare back quietly from her position, laying position.
You know, yesterday, I thought I lost the opportunity for this. Albeit I'm less desperate now than I was then, or even hours before then. So, truthfully, I am just, at this point now, curious of what makes you filled with so much pain. Because I've only sent out my invitation to a small handful of people, and only 3 of them have answered.
Well, I've been feeling lately like I've done more harm than good. And after seeing what you did for Jesse, I think it might be worth my time to see what it would be like if things were different.
And what sort of difference are you looking for?
I'd like to know what it would be like if I had never joined the Night's Watch to begin with.
And you think that specific moment is what's causing you all this grief and sadness?
I think if I had never joined, there would be so many less people hurt in my life.
Like Richard?
Like Richard, like David, like Andrew Kingston, like any number of people who died in the battle caused by my kidnapping.
Well, we can definitely continue with this and try, but in my professional opinion with all this, that's generally with points of sadness we look for the point from which it all spreads, right? And each small decision, Richard's death, your other issues that I don't truly know about until I get inside your head, I can just see the sadness on you. Those all stem from this one big point. And to change this big point, it's entirely personal. So if we do this and it works, you won't be you anymore. And you will need someone to meditate on this every day, because you won't be able to. If you want to approach with different points, smaller pieces that you can control, then, as you know, as what happened with Richard and Jesse, those pieces of guilt are easier to manifest because they're related to a specific thing, not the consequence of one decision, as you put yourself into believing.
I think it would be incredibly difficult to try and ask someone to meditate on me. Perhaps not going so far back. Perhaps if I had never decided to work for Holden in the first place.
But let me point to this again, Sam, and I do this with no sorts of being like it's a wrong point to look at, but rather so you understand. What has cascaded from that?
I ended up working at St. Meredith's, which caused my kidnap, which caused a war, which caused the endangerment of my ex, which created the decision to ask for assistance in helping him, which caused more harm than good by plunging him into insanity.
You are much less selfish than Jesse is. His pain is a lot easier to put a band-aid on.
I'll admit that's not what I wanted to hear.
Again, we can try it. And even if we have no one to meditate on, you can see what it's like. And if you like it, you can try to find someone who will keep you there.
I think I would like to see. I think it's worth knowing.
So,
I'm not sure that I could find a permanent answer, but maybe I'll be more motivated, have more reason to encourage someone to do that if I know what the answer is.
well, then in this case... Oh my god, he's dreaming. His mouth is chewing. Cute boy. In this case, if we're going to try, do you want to try at the second point or the very first one?
I think the very first.
Okay. I want you to lie back and close your eyes. She turns off the desk lamp. And she begins to spin around the singing bowls. The sound fills your senses. The world around you mutes as you close your eyes, and just like you feel as if you begin to be floating. And you hear Niev's voice in your head that says, "It's tangled. It's hard to sort through all this. But I think this is the right string to pull. Open your eyes."
I do.
It is October 2017, and you are standing outside of Nan's Diner, where inside, Jake Smarty, Dr. Jess Lee, Aaliyah, and Richard are all talking at a booth.
Wow. Yeah, I guess I'm not going in there. I say to nobody in particular. And I'm gonna just walk away.
What are you gonna do when you walk away?
I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna sit on my couch. I'm gonna watch TV.
I forget, you always had a separate place from David still. You guys never officially moved in together, right?
Yeah, I always have a separate place.
Your home is as you remember it. Clean, quiet, cozy. Notably, there's no DSLR camera sitting in your bedroom.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm just gonna lavish for at least a couple hours in, like, my ignorance.
Mm-hmm. In that case, if it's going to be a couple hours, time travels the same. So we're going to hop on over to Jesse. Jesse, after
Yes.
about 30 minutes, Niev steps out. And she smiles at you very softly. She says, "Are you here to meditate again?
No,
Are you here for another appointment?"
here for Sam. Just trying to be a friend.
Well, in that case, Jesse, you can go.
Is she done?
For the time being, she's gone, yes. But she will be back in 23 and a half hours.
Jesse will labor to put his hands on his knees and stand up and look at Niev and be like, "This is the part where I threaten you, something like that, intimidating, blah, 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 my anger, my rage. Please make sure she's okay and call me if anything happens."
For sure.
Hey, I guess Sam seems to think that Catherine helped David keep Richard around, but he said the universe has to right itself, right?
Sorry, what do you mean that Catherine helped Richard?
I didn't really think to ask because
She moves behind the counter and she puts a hand on Monica's shoulder and says, "Can you please get Peter on the line?"
who's Peter?
Sorry, Jesse, again. What do you mean?
She says they put his real soul in his clay body, for lack of a better term.
And she puts her hands down on the table and she just kind of like takes a moment and breathes. That's, if it's true, that's incredible.
No, impossible's the word I want to hear here.
Monica says he's on the line, and she picks up the phone and says, "Peter, I think it's best if you come down here. I just learned something rather important from Jesse." "Okay, see you soon."
Who's Peter?
That's Holden, as you call him.
Oh, his first name's Peter.
So
I guess I'll wait here then.
yes, and if you can't answer what we need to know, we'll have to wait for Sam to come back. John, Jake, Jingleheimer Smith.
You are causing a war among the four. You are putting us on the path to war. You are gonna... Oh, God. Okay, well, back to the investigation.
Oh, Mike, you're muted.
Back to the real work.
Yeah. You guys are at the place that you said to meet, and the now like 28-year-old man is smoking a cigarette as he's waiting for you guys to approach. He's standing beneath an awning. He's not gone inside, and it looks like, honestly, rather he'd not go inside.
Let's step out then.
Do you want to talk inside, or do you want to just talk out here?
Out here's fine.
All right. I'm Jake. This is John.
Hey.
We're just had a couple questions for you for the article.
Yeah. Go. Shoot. I'm wondering. How you guys learned about this? Did you guys also go to Preston? I mean, like ages ago. It's been going on a long time, but.
Going to the mine you're referring to.
Yeah. So you guys aren't from Preston then?
No.
So how'd you find out about it?
Well, Jake here is actually a forensic investigator, and I've been doing a lot of work on missing persons kind of across the area. So Jake brought it to my attention, and we found that connection.
But like, what were you investigating?
Missing persons cases. As I told you, I do a
been-
journal blog.
There's been in recent times there's been a few that have happened in the mines. And we heard that the people from Preston High School for graduation would go there. We're just seeing if there's a connection there. We don't know yet. This is all.
Yeah, but they're not. They're labeled as missing people, but they're not exactly going missing, are they?
What do you mean?
Man, that's why I was so confused and wanted to talk to you, because I'm like, there's no way these guys actually get it, unless you've been
Okay.
there when it happened.
Would you
Is it
mind
some-
sharing with us?
Yeah, is it something you would mind
happens?
talking about?
I'm not supposed to. The 6 who go in, they keep it between them. Sorry, one second. My cat is on the soundboard.
Jake, I am loving watching the new professional Jake compared to the old Jake. I remember like Jake Smarty of the original cast, because I've been gone for so long, and this new Jake is just like pretty dynamite at this job.
Oh, he tries to be. Everyone else makes it harder.
We'll get it done. What's the worst the other two could get up to while we're gone fixing problems?
So yeah, it's kind of like why I was interested, because if you guys know, that means someone's talking.
I mean, we assume that they are missing. They have been reported to the police as missing.
Yeah, they're missing.
So, here's the thing. If we find out the truth, and it turns out to not be a big deal, then it's pretty easy for us to help keep it on the down low. It satisfies our curiosity. Maybe I write up some sort of nearly true article, make a couple of hits, get a couple of extra bucks. But if we're investigating it, someone else is going to investigate it eventually.
Yes.
We can at least help you keep it on the down low if we're publishing stuff that makes it seem like close to true, but close enough to true that people aren't going to look in more fully. This town's full of snoopy people like us, and honestly, we're probably the mildest. Especially if you're worried about people giving it. This is a big secret you're all keeping. So for a bit of cash and maybe some help telling us the truth, or at least the truth as you see it, and then helping us write the article that covers it up, everyone gets what they want. We get to know a little bit more.
I was hoping you guys were from Preston, because then I would have actually, wanted to talk to you guys. But I don't need the money, and I'm not going to answer any questions and waste any more of your time.
Now, why is that? You're not wasting our time. We're here. We came out here.
You guys ain't part of this. Do you know?
But soon,
Yeah.
somebody.
Man, when you're sitting on the edge and you're so close to being the one, you guys don't fucking get it.
You're right. We don't.
We don't.
I wonder,
would
though. I wonder, though, if you're worried about someone else giving it up, if we won't find someone who'll talk, or worse, you're going to end up finding that someone else has talked to somebody who's less discreet than we are.
And if that person talks, then it all comes crashing down on them. I just wanted to see if you guys were actually like me, a fucking reject.
So-
Right, well,
The person that is missing, I'll put in quotations, they are chosen.
I see what you guys are trying to do.
Just trying to get some information.
He flicks his cigarette and he just says, "Sorry guys, I'm done." And then he walks away.
I'm going to put a hand on Jake's shoulder and say very quietly to him, very confident, "It's all right. We got what we needed to know. If we move quickly to the next person on the list, maybe we can play up like we're from Preston, and we'll get a different response. We definitely know something's happening."
Yeah.
All right. So,
I got an idea.
what's your idea?
Pull out
I'm
our
gonna
guns.
make pull out our guns. No, I'm gonna make a fake Facebook profile that says that they went to Preston number of years ago. And send someone a message from the same list that we had before.
Okay. What is your message going to say?
Hey, I'm looking to get some rejects together. Are you interested?
You're sending it to one person, or you're going to send it to a few people?
I'll just do it to one for now.
The person eventually gives you the red checkmark notification, and then they just ghost you.
Try another one until it works.
All right, well, you guys are doing that away. We're going to move on to Ethan.
What's up?
You are typing away when Peter walks in behind you. And he is looking a bit flummoxed as he just sits down on your desk next to you.
Everything all right?
It's been a wild few days. I need
Yeah?
your help.
I'm in. I'm absolutely in.
You know, you remember, of course, this is a dumb question, because of course you freaking remember this thorn in my side, but you remember Jesse, right?
Yes, I remember the stories.
Apparently he's smelled some new shit and it's stuck on his shoe, so we gotta go, check it out, and I'm just wondering if you come just kind of help me sort through all this.
Of course. I would absolutely do that for you.
All right, well, I told them I'd be there like 10 minutes ago, so we gotta get going now.
All right. Do you want to drive or shall I?
I can drive. The two drive, to the Opal Door, a place that, Ethan, that you have never been before nor ever heard of. But it just looks like kind of just like a shady building that you would never ever go in. But kind of makes sense. The door, Holden holds open the door for you, and inside you finally see Jesse Rayner in the flesh.
I'll kind of like lean back towards Holden and just be like, he's exactly what I pictured. And then walk right in.
Jesse, a man that you do not recognize, and Detective Holden walk in.
This your new dog on a leash? Peter?
Nice to meet you, Jesse.
All right. He looks over at Niev, and Niev fills in immediately, saying that Jesse knows something that happened with Richard and Catherine and David, if I remember correctly.
That's what Sam said.
Detective Holden looks at you and says, "What happened? What do you know?"
I know yesterday that after telling Richard I wasn't going to meditate on him, he not unjustly flipped his lid, but he wanted to make use of his time, and he ran off with David to go solve some mystery, and apparently part of that involved meeting up with Catherine, and then okay, what I know is that Sam said they took his soul, I'm assuming out of the veil, and they put it in his whatever body Niev makes. And it was like a surgery.
And then, sorry, this means that what Sam implied is that he's here. For good?
Sam seems to think he's here, but no one can get a hold of him. Niev told me the universe has to right itself. So it sounds like Catherine is up to her bullshit shenanigans and trying to circumvent status quo, which we're all about.
Ethan, Peter leans into you and says, this is... What's happening here is kind of what Catherine does, but she goes like this, and Niev's kind of going like this. So same kind of thing, just different direction. So it would
Sounds
make...
like-
Yeah, sorry, you go.
Sounds like it makes sense that somebody else could go a different direction.
Yeah, and it also makes sense that this is Catherine's zone. That also means he pauses as he's saying that, then he shakes his head and says, "But where does David fall in all this? And where's Sam now?" Niev pauses and says, "She's not here." "What do you mean?" "Well, I just had a session with her, and she wanted to see what was happening if she never joined the Night's Watch." Holden nods and says, "Well, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe if there's a way to make this permanent, we can just stitch that little hole up."
Solves a lot of problems, from what I've heard.
Well, I am going to go find David and have a nice little conversation with him to try to get my bearings straight. Jesse, I would like you to meet Ethan Walker. This is your new babysitter. He is not my dog on a leash. You are his dog on a leash. So
I'll walk up to Jesse and just like clap him on the shoulder. How's it going, bud?
So just don't get into any more trouble. And whatever you do, for the love of God, don't fucking say anything to anyone about any of this. Thank you for telling Niev. That was very kind of you, but nobody else.
I'm sorry. And I'll turn to Ethan and be like, I'm supposed to meet a friend at the mines later. Is that okay with you? Or should I not go there?
Holden comes in and says, what the fuck are you doing at the mines?
I don't know. I met a guy named John. He's a journalist. He had my card.
So wait, who's he going to the mines with? Just himself? He's going for a walk in the fucking mines?
He said he's with Jake.
He pulls out his phone. Jake, your phone beeps, and it says, what the fuck are you going to be doing at the mines? From Holden.
Love Holden.
Oh, I think you're muted.
Mike, no.
I'm gonna be like, I'll text back and be like, oh, keeping some close tabs on me there. Some kids were going missing, and it sounds like there's some grad ritual about the chosen one. We're just looking into it. Haven't gone to the mines yet.
Holden responds to that being like, come to this address now. Bring your friend with you.
All right. I'll text back a smiley face, thumbs up. Oh, and then a tentacle.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, this mine thing is going to get sorted really quick because you guys all have some freaking homework to do, and that homework is called sit at home with your thumbs in your ass for a few days. Maybe I should send you guys on a fucking camping trip. I'll buy you some marshmallows, some hot dogs, get you a nice thing out near the mountains. You guys can just like chill for a bit.
Like begins to chuckle audibly through this whole camping suggestion.
And Jesse's just gonna be like, under his breath, he told me not to go to the woods.
Yeah.
Jesse, do you know how to keep your mouth shut?
No, he doesn't.
I mean, honestly, sometimes it's very helpful from what I've heard, but
look, Jesse, I love you as a human. You're so rough around the edges in such a fun way. And like you're a great person to go get a drink and smoke some cigars with. But as like a working partner, I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. I'd like to go drinking with people who shoot first and ask questions later, but you shoot first and then ask questions later. Do you disagree?
now he knows to shut up. Good.
All right, I'm gonna just give Jake and John a moment to roleplay to this.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I'm assuming we're back at the warehouse. We're just going through the Facebook messages.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just be like, we gotta go somewhere. We gotta meet somebody. Something came up.
Oh yeah, no, totally. Of course, Night's Watch business. Gotta come first.
Yeah. Let's. We gotta go. Let's go.
All right. Yeah, definitely.
The address that you guys arrive at is just a nondescript building that says the Opal Door in white above it.
Do I see Holden's car or Holden anywhere?
You do see Holden's car,
Okay.
but the blinds are all closed on the inside.
I guess this is the place.
Who are we meeting?
Holden.
Fuck.
What?
Fuck.
What's wrong?
You told him we were both coming.
He asked for you. I never told him you were there.
Fuck. Alright, let's do this. Wow, this did not last
Why?
long. Kick open the door, slam the van door shut, start walking right in.
Jesse, as you see
okay.
John come in, Holden looks at him, his eyes narrow, and he goes, Steven, what the fuck are you doing here?
That's John.
No, Jake, that's not John.
What the fuck's going on?
Even you're the only good one.
What do you think you're doing?
Shut up, Ethan. Listen. Holden.
I'm listening.
I'm gonna lean over to Jesse and just tap him on the shoulder and be like, "Are you listening?"
I catch that interaction and my eyes narrow at Ethan.
I love that.
I don't do this lightly. You know that. But a pack of civvies running around, constantly stirring up the hornet's nest. I respect you. I know you've got a vision. I know you've got a plan, and normally it works. But this single group of people, more than anyone Barnaby's put together, have caused open fights in the hospital. This dude here, who for some reason isn't buried in a shallow grave somewhere off the interstate, has apparently been bringing people back to life. And I feel you've gotten too close. Same thing you warn us about. You're letting yourself see this not as a problem to be fixed. All I was doing was using some vacation time to check in and make sure that these people weren't going to ruin everything. All I was doing.
Well, congratulations, Steven, because you just earned yourself a babysitter.
Fuck.
I don't need you sniffing around my butt making sure I wiped, okay? I have the pieces I can control under control.
I'm going to look literally directly at Jesse and then back at Holden. And it is very obvious to Holden that I'm not doing this lightly. And I'm going to say, do you, sir? Really? Because this...
When he does that, I'm going to look at Ethan and be like, can I bark, boss?
Just gonna, like, nudge you and be like, shut up.
Because this... I know what control looks like when you're in control. And...
Holden steps up eye to eye with you, and he just looks at you and says, "You're talking with words you don't understand right now, Steven. You think you can control this guy? I'd love to see you try. Even Ethan here, this guy's gonna slip through his fingers like fucking sand eventually. That's his job, that's what he does. He's here for that reason."
So he wasn't my babysitter?
No, Jake, honestly, you're fine.
Okay.
Like, you're good. You poke around, but you, apart from the thing at the apartment on the east side, you've been great.
That was mostly Jesse.
Yes, it always is mostly Jesse.
Steven, by the way, kept eye contact, but then lost it at the end when Holden was like, "That's his job," and Steven was just like, "Fuck."
Might be a bad time to say this, but I think I know where the chair ended up.
All right. Niev, I'm so sorry this is happening in your waiting room. I imagine you don't have any other appointments? And Niev just politely shakes her head and then just sits and is watching. All right, where's the chair? Jake, where do you think it is?
I think Catherine somehow got a hold of it and used it to keep Richard alive with David.
So it doesn't exist anymore.
Well, it doesn't exist anymore. It's in Catherine's hands.
That's above my pay grade. That's why I have to go talk to some people. But what do I do with you four?
Don't let me in with them.
Yeah, I thought I was fine.
All right, two of you need a little vacation. One of you is fine, and one of you is the dad who drives the Winnebago on the road.
Yes.
That's not you, Jake.
Oh.
This is Ethan.
Oh, hi.
Nice to meet you, Jake.
I thought you were referencing my van. I like when people reference my van.
You can take the van. You can take the van. Honestly, you all, even though I said it in a fit of anger, we're sending you guys out to the fucking woods. Get out of the city for a bit and clear your head. Trust me, it does wonders. I'm going to go talk to David, and then I'm going to talk to Catherine. But you guys, I'll text you the details. I'll call and reserve you a little campsite on my way. Does that sound good? I don't care what you say. You guys deserve a break. Unpaid, so it's really more of a suspension, but... Are you still on vacation days, Steven?
Yes, sir. I've got 2 months lined up.
Do you think I wasn't going to find out?
I'd not really planned that far ahead. I was just sniffing your ass. I wasn't planning on getting up on it.
It's only fucking Tuesday, guys. He then walks out and leaves.
Hey,
I just was looking for things. All right.
I'm gonna look over at Steven and be like, really?
Who wants to come back to the warehouse with me and help me put the seats in the van so we can take it out?
Technically, it has to be all of you. And we're going to take a break for you two here. The four of you all get inside Jake's mystery machine.
Jesse will take his own car.
He is not allowed to do that.
I can take my own car to the compound.
You have to convince Ethan.
I'm not convinced Ethan is shit. You can ride with me, Ethan.
Would you like to?
I'm not giving him the keys to my fucking car.
Give me your keys.
I'm not giving you my fucking keys.
You're gonna give me your keys. And you know why you're gonna give me your keys?
Educate me.
You're gonna give me your keys because you don't want any of the shit that Holden has undone for you to come back to haunt you again. You don't want any of the things that have happened to your friends that have been saved or staved off or undone to come back to haunt you. So you're going to give me your keys.
Ethan, you can
Jesse.
trust me to drive across town.
Jesse, I know that your car is important to you. I understand that piece of shit, I look at the windows that are smashed, is your baby. But this is not the moment to fight about it. Give me your keys. Promise it'll be okay.
I'm gonna walk to my car before I give you my keys. I'm gonna pop the trunk and I'm gonna get my guns out of them, throw them in the van, and then I'll toss you my keys.
I will catch them. I walk around, lock up your piece of shit car, double check it is all locked, and I will pocket those keys and get in after you.
The windows are broken. Doesn't matter if you lock it or not.
It doesn't at all, but I'm making a gesture.
Jake's gonna turn around at Ethan and be like, "Listen to anybody before."
It's my job. At least right now.
All right. We're going to the warehouse. Yeah. Okay. Jake will start the car or start the van and go off to the warehouse.
Steven, did you want to send that text?
Oh, I definitely did.
All right, would you want to say it again for camera because they did not hear it the first time?
I know you're angry at me, and I know you're upset. But if this is a setup to get rid of Jesse, you say the word, and I'll pull the trigger.
There is an almost immediate response from Holden that just says, "If you do it, you're fucking next."
Instead of being afraid, Steven's going to be like, okay, and say, yes, sir, understood. Just believes it, 100%.
You guys get to the warehouse where you find Ethan on your phone. An email was sent that has a registration for a small campsite at Two Shoes Campground just outside of Red Hall.
Two shoes. Amazing.
Because that's the other shoe that's dropped.
Amazing.
I didn't think I'd actually need these, but I got them just in case. I climb up one of the lofts and I pull out 4 tents. And then 4 sleeping bags.
No, Jake,
you can take
you're
pillows.
exactly
You
what I
can
was expecting.
take pillows from the bunk beds here. I don't have any pillows up here. If you want an extra blanket, take any of the extra blankets you want.
Thank you.
And I'll start loading up like some water that I have,
Some snacks.
and some snacks and a cooler, and just dump stuff from the fridge in it.
What are you up to, Jesse?
Brooding.
Rude.
I'm like in the corner with my arms crossed, like 1,000 yards, staring both Ethan and Steven.
I'll turn and walk up to you and just clap you on the shoulder again. You're like, don't look so sour. And I'll like hold your keys out of my hand and like pop them up to you. They will land on the ground if you don't catch them.
Careful not to trip on your giant dick.
Doesn't seem like it's a problem for you, so why should I worry?
As Ethan turns away from me, I'm just gonna like lightly put my hand on your shoulder. And I'm just gonna be like, hey, I said I'd be there for Sam if anything happens. If anything happens, I need to come back. She needs a friend.
Jesse, it'll be okay. You can't let your emotions get the best of you. She'll be fine.
It's very, It's a baby Holden right here.
Officer, point of order. Can I also go and get my guns from the back of my car before we go on our camping trip, or is this a Jesse only show? You can have my keys if you want.
I don't know, Ethan. Can John get his guns?
Yeah, can John get his guns?
Can John, the journalist, get his guns, Ethan?
Are you two done yet? Or are you just gonna continue whining like the little babies that you're behaving like?
I don't know what you're saying, Officer Hawk. Calling you by rank, asking your permission. I thought this is what you wanted.
Steven, go get your fucking guns and stop acting like an asshole.
What's that? Something doesn't seem to be a problem for you. Cool, I'll go get him. I'll give you my keys.
I am just gonna store like everything that's not just my pistol in the warehouse while we go. I just didn't want a car with a trunk full of guns and a broken window out on the street.
That's very fair.
Fair.
Steven, when you step outside the warehouse, you remember that you're actually still parked at Nan's.
Fuck. I'm gonna come back in and just be like, forgot where I was parked.
Oh yeah, your car's at Nuns, isn't it? Still.
Yeah, I'll.
Aw.
We want.
Shame.
We want to. I have my extra car out front.
No, what have you got for firearms? Actually, I'm more interested in the firearms.
Quite
Well, if we're
a
going
bit.
camping.
There's a few shotguns. There's a few 9mm. There's a couple hunting rifles.
There's this replica World War II Panzer Shrek.
Oh, I'm definitely taking that one.
Bazooka!
Yeah. Panzer Shrek!
I'm gonna grab a .30 lever action carbine and a 12-gauge shotgun. Make sure I've got ammo for both of them, 2 boxes, and then put them in with the camping supplies.
Sounds good. There's a couple gun cases if you'd like to. Just underneath the shelf there.
Sounds good. I'm gonna load them up.
I'm gonna keep. I'm keeping grabbing food and water and fire starters and whatever else I feel like and thing. I'll grab the couple pairs of night vision goggles I got. Be like, these could be fun. Flashlights, which we had already in the van.
You ever hunted a boar, Jake?
I've never hunted before.
You ever
Yeah.
hunted a snake, John?
It's kind of rude to go after your own family, so no, can't say I have.
Fuck you.
Ethan chuckles.
Jessica, go back to
as he
brooding.
pulls out a little notebook and starts writing some shit down.
Should I grab? I'm just gonna grab this bottle of sleeping pills, melatonin. Yeah, anybody? I think I might need it one of the nights or something. I'll put it in one of the bags. Oh, first aid kit too. That's probably a good idea.
With this group, I guarantee it.
Yeah. So, anybody need anything else? Do we need to stop anywhere to grab anything else?
Looks like you've got it all prepared. Good job.
We might stop for like some hot dogs or something.
S'mores, maybe.
S'more stuff. That'd be good. I only got like, a couple things of eggs. About it. The fridge was kind of light. No one really ate here all the time.
You got a fishing rod?
No, I don't.
That's all right. I don't know how to fish.
Fair.
Just thought maybe I could learn, pick something up. I'm on
I mean, we
vacation
can-
after all.
Yeah. I am too now, apparently. I actually. Oh, 1 second. I go to the computer. I'm gonna send an email to work and be like, I'm gonna take my vacation starting tomorrow.
Approved.
I'm gonna be like, a week?
Yeah, he has
Question mark?
tenure, so tenure doesn't
That's
exist
weird.
in his field, but he found it somehow.
Yeah. I have fucked up multiple times and not get fired, so you know.
I honestly think Jake might actually be the boss of this ward, and people are honestly happy for him to be gone because he's that weird boss who like doesn't act
Oh,
like
maybe.
a boss, but also never leaves.
That actually does check out, doesn't it?
That could
Yeah.
check out. That also checks out why, if I'm bad at my job, that I'd still be there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, you guys all get in the car. You grab some hot dogs, some s'mores, some sticks to roast them on.
Can we
And
grab
you guys-
fishing rods too? Is there a hardware store? Or is there a Canadian
you can
Tire
get
on the way?
fishing rods, yeah.
Yeah, let's get fishing rods and a bucket of bait.
And you guys
I'm buying.
head on out to Two Shoes Campground.
Two shoes.
There's gonna be no lake here, is there?
I haven't thought about it yet. I'll decide when we
I
get
haven't
there.
thought about it.
How are we choosing the music? I'm
Um,
sitting in the back with Jesse, by the way, because we're obviously in the dog pound.
there's just a Bluetooth speaker that anyone can connect to. There's no stereo in the van. There's not even a radio.
Silence it is then.
There's a Bluetooth speaker. You just gotta connect to it.
Ethan makes no moves to contribute any music.
Jake's gonna be like, all right, I'll choose something, and I'll go, and he starts a classical playlist,
Like orchestral music.
like orchestral music.
Ethan starts humming along. He knows this music incredibly well, like
Oh.
freakishly.
Oh, that's confirmed. He's an entity. No one knows this music.
Yeah.
You guys make it to Two Shoes Campground after about 45 minutes. The place is small. It looks to be only like a 4-person campground, and no one's camping on April 10th in rain season. But you guys are. There is a lake. The rain falls on it, so the mist from the water of the collision just kind of makes like the surface of the lake a little bit misty as you're staring out at it. The trees are silently dancing in the wind, and you guys would rather be so many other places than this. But you're here for 3 days.
Well, campers, everybody out of the van.
Everybody have a raincoat?
You know, I didn't think to pack one.
There's
God
some
willing, I'll
garbage.
get pneumonia and die here. And I'll get out of the fucking
There's
van.
There's garbage bags if you want to make yourself a poncho. There might even be actually a couple
Yeah, you
ponchos in
probably
one
have
of those.
rain ponchos, Jake.
Yeah.
We might also, just be wearing raincoats. It was overcast when we left.
It was overcast.
No, Jesse's wearing exactly what James is wearing
Yeah.
right now.
No, this is it.
It's leather. It just runs right off.
You know, leather gets hard in the rain, right? Okay.
So do I.
All right, Jesse's walking around with his boner out.
Yeah.
Ethan
I'm
gets down,
definitely.
zips up, hood up, follows Jesse.
Jake's gonna start like parking the van in a good spot, and then starts hanging a tarp that's over top of the where the van is at the back, so you don't get wet if you're going to the back of the van, and then like over top of where the tents will be.
I'm gonna help. I'm gonna help Jake. I'm gonna make small talk while I do it. And I'm gonna be like, you know, it's nothing personal, right? Like it wasn't you. It was never about you being a problem.
Oh, that's why I asked if you were my babysitter.
No, 100%. You're a good guy, Jake. Honestly, everything I've read about you, real stand-up person.
Well, there's material on me.
Of course.
Someone's written stuff down. Has it been Holden? Has Holden written stuff down about me?
I don't access Holden's personal files. Despite what this looks like, Jake, this is the first time I've ever done something without express say-so.
Did you actually have that mind mystery? That
Yeah, actually. That's how I met Holden in the first place.
it was already solved, or
Holden's never asked me to look into it, and I've never taken the initiative.
Holden doesn't look at anything that's not actively important. I thought that's why he let me continue doing what I was doing, because I was looking in things that he might have not always looked into.
That was my assumption too, but some of your friends, when they look into things, it's not so much. Well, you don't peek in the windows. You smash the glass panes, reach in, unlock the door, and take everything from the kitchen pantry.
I'll sort of just like nod over to Jesse, and then be like, I mean, most part, I never did any of that. I was always caught in some crossfire of something, house burning down. And, yeah, I mean, don't know what else to say.
That was actually, honestly, when I decided I kind of needed to do this. When Mr. Kingston went missing. Not.
Oh, he's in another dimension.
When the local boogeyman, someone Holden calls in for only the most serious stuff, someone even I'm a little uncomfortable around, when he goes vanishing while looking into you folks.
I mean, he wasn't looking into us. He was madly in love with Sam, and then something happened where they went to another plane of existence with spiders, and then he sacrificed himself to get Sam out, or something along those lines. I wasn't there for that part.
Kingston, you're kidding me.
Yeah, that's the gist of, I think, what I know.
You people have a outsized influence on everybody you come in contact with.
Yeah, I guess so.
Should we set up some tents now? Doesn't look like anybody else is.
No, I mean the rain's all going that way now, so, or like off the tarp, so we should be good underneath here for a little bit.
Ethan and Jesse, did you guys want to do anything?
I'll follow until I'm close by Jesse and just be like, you're just gonna brood the whole time? I know it's what you do best, but do you really need more practice? She's gonna be fine. She'll either be happier one way, or she'll be back, and it'll be the same.
Yeah. I believe you about Sam.
So what's your problem, princess?
Are you trying to get hurt, Ethan?
Jesse, my only job is to make sure that you don't cause trouble. If you're busy worrying about me, that's fine. As long as you're not causing any trouble anywhere else.
Why don't I start things off right between us, Ethan? I came to Red Hall.
That happened.
I came to Red Hall on a lead, looking for my wife. It's a dead lead. Lizzie's not here. But I can't leave the fucking city. I've done my best to protect my friendships, make amends to people I've wronged. But the city finds a way to just the city just finds it. I'm lost. I'm aimless. And I'm trying my damnedest not to cause Holden trouble. He's done a lot of favors for me. I didn't know going to a meditative session from an advertisement slipped under my door would resurrect a guy named Richard Hardwood.
Oh, I know all about Richard. Don't worry.
It wasn't supposed to be anything. It was a trendy new place.
I find it hard to believe that someone as intelligent as you is just some poor, unfortunate soul that stumbles into all of these problems. But I don't know you. I've only heard stories. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. I hope that I'm not, but
What are we doing out here?
this is a big old timeout, I believe.
And Holden didn't trust us to go fucking camping together?
What happened the last time you walked in the woods, Jesse?
They weren't a Holden assigned campsite.
And I'm your camp director, apparently. Lucky me. I love camping. But, no, I think that this is just a safe zone for Holden to deal with the things he needs to deal with without influence from you, Sam. Jake's just here as collateral, I think, but
Right.
I know, I'm only an administrator.
Well, don't let your cheery...
A babysitter, as I've been told.
Yeah. Don't let your cheery disposition ruin the camping trip. I'll walk away from you and I'll go start helping Jake.
Don't worry, I won't.
Yeah. I'm gonna help Jake set up.
Takes you guys a little bit longer because of the rain, but you're able to get 4 tents set up.
At some point, I'm going to say very casually to Jesse, in a very low-key manner so that Ethan doesn't hear it. People connected to you tend to get hurt.
Can I roll a listen check?
Heck yeah.
What are Ethan's stats for that? Okay, not bad. I miss. I don't hear.
Okay.
Anything happens to Ethan, I'm going to happen to you. Just so you're aware.
I wish I'd heard that.
Oh, God. How much of an asshole should Jesse... Let's do a power check. Let's just do a power check and see what happens. Let's fuck around and find out. Okay. Cool. How low do you say that, and how threatening are you?
I'm super casual with the confidence of someone who really believes it.
That you're gonna happen to me.
That all happened to you.
Jesse's just gonna grab you. He's gonna attempt to grab you, attempt to throw you to the ground, and attempt to pin you.
Let's do it.
Oof.
Oh no, oh no, oh no. Guys, we're not supposed to be.
All right, give me a brawl versus brawl.
How does a 17 sound? Oh, one off my extreme.
11 out of 60. I got my extreme.
Damn.
You try to throw him on the ground, but he just.
He actually causes, Steven causes Jesse damage. If that's your
Oh.
Yeah.
No,
If
no.
we're wrestling? We're wrestling.
Yeah, you just hit two men
Rosslyn?
who kind of like. Jesse's trying to throw him down, but Steven's able to hold his footing.
Yeah.
Alright. I'll try it again.
Oh,
I'll
shit.
push my luck. I'll push my luck.
Oh, he's pushing
What does
his
that-
luck. If you
what does
fail,
that mean?
something bad happens.
If he
Okay.
fails, something really bad happens.
Do I have to reroll as well?
No.
That one's a 7. It's a 17 again.
As you go to like get this,
Yeah.
you slip, fall into the mud, and you break your wrist.
Yeah, that checks out.
You
Ethan
take
comes over.
3 points
sorry.
of damage.
That checks out.
Ethan comes over and actively picks up Jesse, carefully, but picks him up out of the mud, and just mumbles, "I didn't realize I would have to take care of you from yourself." Okay. I'm gonna do a first aid check. See if I can make this worse. He's not very good at first aid.
Oh, I
Is
have
everything
first
okay
aid.
with
I
your
can,
wrist?
I can
Oh,
do my
Just
own
set
first
this,
aid.
right?
Yeah, I nailed that. That's a 6.
It's a broken wrist, but you're able to actually quickly treat it. And as soon as Jesse is like, "I can do this," you already have the kit open, flipping to the right stuff. You got a little
Yeah.
splint on there.
A
Wiping off the
C-split.
mud. Jesse, do you don't have anything to prove with Steven. I promise you. It's fine. He's an asshole.
Yes, sir, Officer Hawk.
See? I finish wrapping your wrist, and I just like pat you a couple times on the shoulder.
Jake, what are you doing while this is all happening?
I kind of was like, well, when they first started, I think I was gonna be like, we shouldn't. And then now they see that like sort of Jesse kind of hurt himself. I probably grabbed the first aid kit to hand over, and then I'm gonna continue bringing like sleeping bags and a pillow into each tent.
I'm gonna walk over to Steven specifically and just like wave a couple fingers as if we're gonna take a couple steps away.
Yep.
What are you doing, man? I mean, I know that I'm sure you didn't mean it. You would have done much worse if you did.
Honestly, this is kind of my fault. He doesn't look like much. I probably should have taken it more seriously.
Why did he come after you? What did you do?
Just talk to him.
What did you say?
I told him that if he threatened or hurt you, then I was going to happen to him, sir. I've read the reports too. I know how he operates. I just wanted to let him know where everyone stood, sir.
I mean, Jesse's.
That was your
Jesse's-
approach. That was your approach. Very smart. Yeah.
Jesse's
Great.
just like sitting on a rock in the rain, smoking a cigarette like Eeyore.
As
You
you
know-
see Jake putting like a lawn umbrella over him.
This is already the best camping trip I've ever been on in an RPG.
Yeah.
You know how Jesse reacts, and that was your approach. Okay. I see why I'm here. I understand now. All right.
Might have also been
mean-
purposely
I mean-
provoking him, sir.
Yeah. I feared as much. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yep.
I would very much like to make it through this camping trip with all of us intact as best as possible. And Jesse's already going to make that difficult. So,
Do you want me to go over there and kiss and make up, sir? Is that an official order?
do whatever you want in this particular regard. And he's just going to turn and walk away.
Yes, sir. And I am going to walk over to Jesse, and after a moment, I'm going to offer a hand to his good hand. Like, pulling him up.
I need a minute before a rematch.
Honestly, I'm not sure I'd win if you did. I think if it wasn't for the mud, I'd probably have taken the spill myself. Maybe we should stop making ourselves look like assholes in front of Officer Hawk so that we
Fuck
can make him
Officer
look...
Hawk and fuck you.
You want a beer with that? I can grab you one.
No. I'm not doing that anymore.
Drink.
Oh, did Eric die?
Sorry,
No.
I did for
Okay.
a moment.
Yeah.
What did your character say?
I said I'm not doing that anymore.
Drinking?
Yeah.
Me either, actually. I'm gonna sit down, not on the rock, but just kind of in the mud beside him. Quit a couple of years back. That and some other problems I was having. I'm gonna show him my the
Track
crook
mark?
of my. Yeah, I'm gonna show him my track marks. Got into a really bad place after. Well, my life fell apart.
Spent all my good years undercover with drugs. That and people getting hurt. That's why Lizzie left.
Is that your wife?
Was. It's gone.
Less dramatically. Oh, sorry.
She's not meant to be found, I don't think.
I mean, I know where my wife and kids are. But, yeah, I mean, when you're an addict, you don't really get visitation rights very easily. So, it's kind of been a clean break for me. But, I feel you. Less dramatic, but I feel you.
Ethan
What do you want,
is
John?
leaning against the van, smiling over his notebook, watching you two have a heart-to-heart moment.
Jake, is there anything you want to do? Or just get ready, maybe get a fire going as best you can in the rain?
I'm gonna, after everything's moved over, I'm gonna get a fire going. I'm gonna take a little bit of gasoline from the van and I'm gonna pour it on there and just throw the match in and let it go.
Damn.
That's how you light a fire in the rain.
And then you guys just have a nice night. We're going to do one small scene before we call it an evening.
Ethan texts Holden, night 1, Jesse's already got a broken wrist.
That's incredible. Sam!
Is that the text that Ethan gets back? Just that's incredible.
Yeah. Sam, you are sitting in your apartment. It's been a few hours and it's been relatively quiet, peaceful, exactly as you remembered it being.
Blissful. But curiosity begins to get the better of her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to look at the time and try and guesstimate as best as she can what she remembers happening on this day.
This day was pretty quiet. It was just you meeting the watch for the first time.
Yeah.
You maybe joined Jake as like a drive around Trapper Woods at night, but nothing notable happened.
Yeah, and she's gonna kind of call Jake's number, but she's not actually gonna say anything. It's just gonna be a hang up. She just wants to hear if anything's going on in the background. She's just like doing that girlfriend thing.
Jake, your phone rings when you're at the diner. It's from a number you do not recognize.
This is back when Jake was being semi-cautious still?
No, this was when you were like a dreamer.
This is like nerdy dreamer Jake.
Yeah, this was before
okay.
you even met Jesse.
Jake Smarty.
There's silence and silence.
Hello? This is Jake.
Silence and then a hang up, like an active call ends.
That was weird. Who's at the table with me?
It is Richard, Aaliyah, and Jess.
You get some sort of hot tip? First night on the job.
I think it was like a spam call or something. There was nothing, and then a hang up.
Maybe they'll call back.
Maybe
Sam.
they'll call back if it's important.
Sam is going to, having done that, go grab her keys and her shoes, and she's going to go to David's house.
As you are leaving, and you step out into the lobby to go onto the street, you see someone who is standing with their back against the wall, with their head down and a cigarette in their mouth.
I smile to myself, but keep walking.
As you get close to the person, you do recognize them. They were exactly who you thought they were. And they look at you.
I look and meet eyes for a moment, but I don't say anything any more than a stranger would. Andrew gets a nod, but that's it.
As you walk by, he says, "What are you doing here?"
I live here.
Not actually.
Andrew, what are you talking about? Do you know who I am?
Yeah. Did you do it again, Sam? But I'm not here to do anything.
I just wanted to know what it would be like to have life be normal for one day.
Yeah. I honestly want the same.
You're not really here, are you?
No, I am.
How are you here?
I told Jesse I'd find my own way out.
And you ended up here.
No, I didn't end up here. I saw this place out of nowhere. Figured I'd check it out.
Figures.
And I felt you in here. And I just wanted to see if you were okay.
Oh, I'm okay here. Reality is fucked, Andrew. Red Hall is fucked.
Yeah, it has a way of poisoning you, doesn't it?
And I don't know what to do anymore. I came here for a break, I think. I think I knew that I wasn't going to get any answers out of one day. But maybe I'll get to stay. Maybe something crazy will happen on the other side and I won't have to go back.
Well, do you want to stay here?
Am I a terrible person if I do?
No, I would. Did Jesse tell you what I said?
No.
It's probably for the better.
You're just gonna leave it at that?
You just look so much like her, Sam. And I know it's not true that you are, because she's gone. But that's why I work so hard to keep you so safe. She got eaten by this city. They all do.
I mean, in a way, no matter what you do, whether you choose it or it chooses you, you're right.
But I also just have to tell you, Sam, that this isn't a solution. If this place becomes even more permanent, someone's going to tear it down. Catherine, Nigel. But there is a way that we can get you out.
Kind of out.
Everyone's tied to Red Hall once they enter it.
So I've heard.
And I've always wondered if it was possible to cut that tether. And when I left you guys there, and I've been wandering the Vale ever since, I think I might have found a way. But I'm too scared to do it right now.
What are you afraid of, Andrew?
Not knowing what to do when this is all done.
God, it would be so nice to know that my choices were not influencing everyone I loved. Not wreaking havoc in a city that I have no control over.
But you're not making those choices.
Feels like I am.
It's all been lined out for us. Even me finding that place pop up, you going in it. The only way to start getting free will here is to try to escape.
So it's all predetermined. It doesn't matter.
Not necessarily. As you know by your good friend Jesse, anything can happen here.
If you just believe. I expect to go back. I wanted to see what it was like. And it was exactly what I expected. It was boring and average, but nothing happened because I didn't have anything to do. And maybe if it happened for longer, there would be evidence that I was right, or maybe I was wrong, but I don't think I get to stay. I don't think the city lets me. I don't think I get that choice.
Well, if you go back, do you want me to find you? And we can work together to try to cut your tether?
If anyone could find me, Andrew, it would be you.
I'll see you tomorrow then.
Tomorrow.
Did you go on your way to David's then?
I sure do.
David is just as you remembered him. Back in the day when your relationship was a little bit tense, but for a different reason than it is now.
For a different kind of tense than it presently. Back when he was a different kind of asshole.
But that'll be it for tonight's session. Thank you so much for watching, everybody on YouTube. This was a good one, nice and wild. Less big, bombastic character moments. Moments like a character coming back from the dead and then being literally unraveled. But some nice big character revelations, and I loved the camping scene. That was fun to watch. So we'll see you guys very soon on YouTube for another episode of Call of Cthulhu, and I'm sure on for this channel we'll probably be back very soon as well. Have a good one, and as always, GG's.
GG's.